There's no debate that judicial determination of custody in cases of proven family violence is needed. It's erroneous, though, to assume that high conflict cases in which parents disagree on custodial arrangements for children after divorce commonly involve serious family violence. This places children at risk of losing one of their parents via a sole custody order and increases the risk of family violence in the majority of contested custody cases that did not previously involve violence. In cases of family violence where there's a finding that a child is in need of protection from a parent, the safety of children requires that the abusive parent has limited or no contact with children because of potential harm to the children and the spouse. Parents with a proven history of severe violence will need different resolutions. The majority of non-violent litigating parents in conflict over the care and custody of their children are best served in the interest of prevention of first-time violence by a shared parenting approach. On the question of protracted parental conflict, there's no debate that exposure to ongoing and unresolved high conflict is harmful to children. What is under debate is the amount of parenting time that's advisable in high conflict situations. Recent studies have found that not only that shared parenting is not harmful in high conflict situations, not involving violence, but can also ameliorate the harmful effects of high conflict. A warm relationship with both parents is a protective factor for children in high conflict divorces, and the benefits of shared parenting on children's well-being exist independent of parental conflict. Shared parenting is beneficial for children in both low and high conflict situations, and shared parenting is positively related to parental cooperation. Comparing parental outcomes in joint versus sole custody families, shared parenting is associated with a significant reduction of parental conflict levels. There's no evidence to support the contention that shared parenting increases parental conflict, and research does not support a presumption that the amount of parenting time should be limited in cases of high conflict, and high conflict should not be used to justify restrictions on children's contact with either of their parents. Now, another set of arguments against parental alienation are based on potential harm to women. In fact, with the suppression of the idea that parental alienation is a form of family violence and child abuse, the potential for harm toward children and parents, including women and girls affected by parental alienation, is significantly increased. We're harming women and girls affected by parental alienation. There are many so-called champions of women's rights concerned about the safety and protection of women and girls in particular undergoing parental separation and divorce, who have fixed ideological positions in regard to parental alienation, shared parenting, and that blinds them to the overwhelming scientific evidence in regard to violence against children and families, including women and girls. I would draw attention to the following flawed arguments. First of all, the lack of acknowledgement that women are also victimized by parental alienation by their male partners. Failing to acknowledge that parental alienation represents a serious form of victimization and abuse of women as well as men, women who live with anxiety, depression, and helplessness, as well as feelings of victimization by the many systems that are not responsive to their needs, is really a problem. Secondly, the lack of acknowledgement of the profound harms of parental alienation on children which are well documented, is also problematic. The effects of parental alienation on children include poor self-esteem, depression, self-hatred, disrupted social emotional development, withdrawal, isolation, social anxiety, low self-sufficiency, lack of autonomy, and codependence with the alienating parent, academic struggles, failure to reach academic and employment potential, and poor impulse control, struggles with addiction, and self-harm. Parental alienation is child abuse writ large.